Speech off. Speech on. Camera chooser. Back facing. Camera chooser. Back facing. Camera chooser. Front facing. Button. Speech off.
What's going on, guys? This is the Spiritual Experience, and this video is kind of a more in-depth version of what yesterday's video was, because I did actually forget some stuff. So, for those who don't know, my last video was what is love? How does love work? That type of thing. This one is about the differences between the typical versions of love that you might know and pure love. It's still love. It's just not. It's not completely pure love. It's not. Yeah, it's just not pure love. So what are the differences? Well, most people's love is based on what they can do, what that person can do for them, based on certain personality characteristics that they like in that person, or stuff like that. And whenever those things aren't met, you have a problem where that love just disappears. So that's the problem that society has. That's why we have so much division in politics right now, because nobody is willing to just love someone just because, or something even. That's another thing I forgot to mention. Love is not just something that you do when it comes to people and animals and whatever. It happens to be with everything. But I didn't really mention that. That was one of the things I forgot. When you do the practice for the, that's another thing too. I'm going to mention a couple of things here. It's going to be a bit rambly, but when you do the practice about loving things that you find annoying, or that you find to be evil or whatever, like violence or war or rape or whatever it is. It may not be easy. It may not happen the first, or the second, or the third, or even the 1,000th time you try it. But if that doesn't happen, don't criticize yourself. Love yourself for it. There's another thing. That's another thing I did forget too, is that don't forget to love yourself as well. I mean, I did kind of say when you love someone, you look out for them just as much as you, but I didn't say to love yourself. Love yourself as well as other people as well. Otherwise, it's going to be, you're going to resent that you have to love somebody in order to, get somewhere in the spiritual game or whatever. And that's another thing too, is that this is not something that you have to do. This is more if you have the inclination to take up this challenge. And if you do have the inclination to take up this challenge, I recommend you that you do this every day. Just start loving things that you find annoying, or love things that you hate. It's not always an easy thing to do, but it's worth it, because it basically dispels any negativity in seconds. I would say about 10 to 15 seconds if you just feel that love. Feel love inside of your heart. Yes, I haven't mentioned this in my book before, but I haven't really mentioned it here. But emotions, the best way to get any state of emotion that you choose is to feel it in your heart. Because a lot of people think that emotions are in the brain, but they're in the heart. When you're doing this exercise, your mind still might have these judgments and whatever else. Don't fall into the trap of getting involved with these judgments or ascribing, or not even ascribing, just getting involved in them, like agreeing with them or trying to or listening to them. When they happen, just love yourself for what you are and whatever situation or thing that you do, just love yourself for it. Because I might do a video. I might just do that here, but yes, because when you this is something that most people don't understand, and I didn't understand this for a while. And I'm not perfect at this. I'm still learning, but another thing to kind of mention is that when you're like loving something, I forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah, when you're trying to get ahead in the spiritual practice, you'll definitely notice, like if you do this for because I did this most of the day yesterday. I did it like a couple hours a day. It was like, let me think. I'm thinking 6, 7, 8 hours of just doing that, and it changes your whole mind. So yeah, that's what it was. The reason why I recommend that people do this more often is because the way that a lot of people do things, a lot of politician type people or politics type people do things isn't working, is actually causing a greater divide. And relationships are kind of the same way in some ways. They get extremely divided like that as well, because they can't separate themselves from their ego from themselves. This exercise kind of does that. Yeah. So when you love somebody, it may even if you have like needs for that person, just try and imagine yourself like loving that person and beyond like needs, and to like a level of beyond needs, where you just love that person for them, for who they are, no matter what they're doing or what they're saying. Because everybody works on everybody does what they do because of love. And I've said this before, it may be a distorted form of love. It may be a very twisted, corrupted form of love, but it's love all the same. And just to a lesser degree, usually too. In those corrupted, twisted forms. So that's one way to sort of a way to really get this kind of love is to like feel like suffering, just like, or you can like do what I told you to do before, when you see somebody and you think and they they're annoying you, you can just see them as like someone having a difficult time. Because if they probably are, because a lot of people are in this state of opposite division land, I guess that's what I'd call it. I don't know. I might make a video on that too, about the state of the bonds that hold your ego together, and how it all revolves around struggle and stuff like that. So I might do a video on that. Might do a video on about some masters that loved infinitely and changed the world, actually, because they did it in such a grand way. Yeah, so anyways, I know this video was a bit rambly, but it was just some things to remember, because I did forget to mention them. So this is
Speech on.
a spiritual experience. What's going on here? Hold on. What's wrong with you? What are you doing?
Stop recording. Button.
Okay, there it goes. Thank God. That was funny. Anyways, this is the spiritual experience, and please like and subscribe if you've got some kind of benefit from it, and share it too, so that other people get the same benefits as you did, and hopefully we can spread love around the world and change people by doing this. So this is the spiritual experience, and I'll see you
Camera choose. Stop recording. Button.
on the next video.